Yeah, because when you go check some when you get it there. Watch your back, come back. I'm not escorting him. Which car will you? I don't have a bus. The bus I have bus, but they are not there. Just capture your last listen and come out. Withdraw.
Go back, withdraw.
Stop! You're welcome, sir!
Central government ever the detachment of the Nigerian police force. Police training school, no one time. Comprised of one guard commander and 6 others. Commanded by Force number 376 and 59. Sergeant Zazo Ledu. Guard form. Ready for your inspection. Sir. Move. Guard out.
And my 2IC, Madam Police Officer. Yes, we have 2 parts of this end. The other end is for counter-terrorism. This one is for regular police recruitment. You're welcome, sir. These are all my staff. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. We have it over there, sir. Please, I would like us to start from the admin office. The school was established here in 1970.
For we like to acknowledge that we are members of the NEC committee. This is a committee that was set up by NEC. The president came to the NEC meeting to inaugurate personally this committee. And this is because the president recognized that we are at a security crossroad, and nothing short of complete and urgent overhaul is required to ensure that we secure our future. The president recognizes that security is paramount, and it is the primary responsibility of any government. And you may already know that there has been an approval by Mr. President to recruit 30,000 new personnel for the police force, and there is no way that recruitment would happen if we do not have a training ground for these men and women that protect our communities. So what we have come here to do is an on-the-spot assessment, some kind of fact finding. We already have reports of all the state of the training institutions, both for the police and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps across the country. And this intervention is also meant to be nationwide. That was the explicit mandate of the president. So we have come here today in company of the governor of Ogun State, who is a member of the committee, my brother, the governor of Rivers State, who has also joined us for this fact-finding mission. We have the secretary, the retired Inspector General of Police, and we also have the Assistant Inspector General of Police, who has also accompanied us to this visit. So we have seen things for ourselves. This essentially re-echoes the president's passion for getting things done and getting it done urgently. We cannot be demanding integrity and excellence from our men and women who protect our communities, and we do not model the values that train them to be in line with those integrity and excellence we demand from them. Thank you. It's very important to re-emphasize the fact that this is being treated as an emergency. And so everything about it is going to be treated as such, including the intervention funds for it. So it's extremely important that we underscore that point, to know that there is a recognition that we are at a security crossroad nationwide, and that something needs to be done urgently, and something bold and urgent, and that's why we're here. Again, this is going on across all the training institutions in the country for the police and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Thank you.
Please, just for clarity,
no. There have been other presidents. These institutions didn't become like this overnight. They didn't get to be like this in 2 years and 3-4 months. So to say that it is late or not late, I think that question you should actually withdraw that question.
I also think it's important to also recognize the fact that these training facilities have endured decades, decades of neglect, right? And then you have a president who suddenly says, look, we cannot continue this way. We must essentially ensure that the men and women who protect our communities, they must be exposed to an environment where we can train them to understand what it means to have to be professional. And so this is like a mission, a national mission to restore the integrity, the professionalism, and the confidence of the men and women who protect our communities. And that's what this president has charged us with. And we're going to get that accomplished. The first phase would be 1 month, and then this committee would also supervise the renovation, to oversee the period of renovation, reconstruction, re-equipping, and all that. So it's not just going to be a patchwork. There would be a rebuild of the re-equipping, the restoration of the dignity of these men and women who protect our communities. Thank you very much.
It presupposes, your question is presupposed by this assignment. We will not be given this assignment if Mr. President has not already decided that he wants speedy implementation. We are given a mandate of just 4 weeks. And because of that, we split ourselves into 2 groups. One group visiting the northern training centers and facilities and colleges, and another group which is us dealing with the ones in the south. And I must, in support of our chairman, say that this is a very clear demonstration by the president of his political will as, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to support the law enforcement architecture. And it is in line with that support of his to ensure that the law enforcement architecture needs to be more robust, that he has set up this subcommittee of the National Economic Council. And like the chairman said, he actually came to NEC. The president is not a member of NEC. NEC is chaired by the vice president, but he came to NEC himself to inaugurate this committee. And in line with his drive to recruit at the minimum 30,000 police personnel. But you cannot recruit them without training them. And you definitely cannot train them in this kind of environment that is not conducive, like we've seen here in Port Harcourt, like we've seen in Lagos, like our colleagues have seen in Jos, have seen in Maiduguri, and I'm sure like we're going to see when we get to Enugu. And these are just the few that we've chosen. We have a team of consultants looking at all the training facilities across the country. And we are determined to meet that deadline to ensure that not only do we report their state, we come up with a bill of quantities that will reflect the budget requirement to totally refurbish these institutions and put them to use so that Mr. President can begin this recruitment drive that can now be complemented by the necessary and required training that indeed these policemen deserve. And like the chairman said, you cannot incubate policemen in this kind of environment and expect them to behave like human beings when they get outside. So whatever it is we expect of them, we must instill in them when they are being trained, and that is why we're here.
Your Excellency, I'd like to ask just from yes. As a state governor, sir,
Yes.
there has been this clamor for state police.
Yes.
If this was under the purview of state governors, I'm not asking you to speak maybe as a committee, so you don't talk about your as a state governor. Do you think that it's not very necessary that we should decentralize Nigeria police force and allow some state governors to handle certain responsibilities?
Well, I don't think that's a conversation for today. Today we're here to deal with what we are dealing with. When we finish dealing with this, we'll talk about the issue of state governors.
And I think it's also...
We are governors, though. We're here. There are about 8 governors involved in this exercise. It's to commend Mr. President. He's been in office 2 years, 3-4 months. And with all that he has going on, he's considered this an extreme priority. He's trying to ensure that we have socio-economic stability. But he's also recognized that we cannot achieve all his macroeconomic policies desired without this very key enabler, which is provision of security. You cannot achieve provision of security if you don't have motivated law enforcement officers. And of course, the policemen are the ones that are boots on the ground, that are in charge of internal security. So to say that he's late or he's not late, this is 2 years and a few months.
Do the excellencies here have for Nigerians who would think that it's taking Mr. President a little bit late to embark on this initiative? This is 2.5 years and 3 years running.
Let me ask, let me take this. Okay, yeah, please.
I think the purpose of this visitation, like the chairman said here, is for on-the-spot assessment of facility, police facility, what I call it, training centers. What is important here is that the president has come out to make a bold statement that he wants the police officers that will be trained, that will be engaged to come out professionally. And I strongly believe that with the situation of our country today, it is not a mere talking. He meant every word he has said. So on the issue of what the Arise man is asking, it doesn't matter. We just started now, and I'm very sure that we are going to get it right. And let me also add here, it's not just about putting the facilities together. It's a whole package. At the end of the day, police will be motivated so much that they will also act professionally like any other police in any part of the world. Thank you.
Just for clarity, please. Wait. call the classroom.
This block has 8 classrooms, 4 down,
4. You cannot address me like that. Don't talk to me like that. Don't address me in that manner.
Easy.
Make way. Let's open up.
Sorry.
For NCOs, non-commissioned officers. So each of these flags should be on my page. Look your back. This is our dining hall.
At that 20, so that 2022, you mainly